Hi. Hi.
What up, Amy? What's good?
So we're switching things up today. I came all the way down here so that we can have some transparency and some honesty and get down to some questions that the female population has for you. And you made this happen in about 5 minutes.
Hector Bravo, unhinged. Chaos is now in session.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
It's pretty incredible. I told you something on what was that, Monday?
Yeah, so to give a little background, Amy hit me up. We met like 3 years ago. Same mission, same exposing the California Department of Correction, the rehabilitation for what it actually is to try to make it better. And up until recently, she, what do they call it? Corresponds with female inmates, current female inmates, like, hey, some of these ladies have a concern that you might become the secretary of CCR if Chad Bianco becomes governor. And I'm like, well, let's do it. Let's do a podcast. We'll talk about whatever questions they have. I'm transparent, dude. I ain't got nothing to hide. Let's shoot it.
I can't. I mean, I was really taken aback when there were, concerns, because I can't really think of anybody who would be a more appropriate person to be in the position.
Not that I'm comparing myself to Jesus, but there was a lot of people that were opposed to Jesus Christ himself back in the day. So nothing surprises me.
But this, I was bothered because you are a Christian. You're a dad. You're somebody that I would take leadership from, and with full confidence. So some of the questions were, related to politics.
Politics.
People are convinced that conservatives hate prisoners, and I've worked the last 5 years to really try and make connections and break down walls and help humanize the incarcerated population. So for them to come at me with this, I was disappointed. It hurt my ego, but I mean, what are we gonna do? But continue to tell the truth and try and figure out what do they need to know.
But I'm a realist, so like when you said that right now, that some of them believe that conservatives are tied to like anti-inmates, anti-this, right? And it's like, yeah, I remember when I was a young kid too, and they told me the Republicans hated Mexicans. And that's a true story. When I was in sixth grade, that's because it takes education, it takes experience, it takes knowledge, it takes wisdom, it takes real life facts just for you to see the forest for the trees, right? And you're like, wait a minute, I think I've been lied to.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So yeah, let's shoot. Whatever you're ready, however you want to do this, it's an open mic.
Well, let's go back to when we first met. I was convinced of, first contact that you were the one. You're a good guy, because you didn't hesitate. You jumped on it. I asked you to, if you'd come do a docuseries that the independent women produced, and it's exposing, the backlash of SB 132, what's happening in women's prisons because of them being forcibly integrated with trans-identified male prisoners. And you put it all out there. You were unapologetic. You didn't sugarcoat it, and it was exactly what I had been hoping and praying for. So that being said, what would you do to change how these women are perceiving like the conservative leadership, like other than?
Do they believe, what is it, SB 132?
Yeah,
do they believe SB 132 stemmed from a Republican, Democrat, right, left? What do they believe it stemmed from?
Maybe they forgot that it was the left that
The left?
fully wrote it and supported.
Okay. Now, are the female inmates, are they in favor or opposed to?
Fully opposed. So
it's kind of like, and it's funny as we're speaking, because it's like, okay, they're correctional officers. They pay union dues every month, right? But they hate the union.
Yeah.
And it's like they're funding their own demise. And it's similar. And this is fucking crazy that we're having this conversation.
Yeah, like I was trying to tell him what good has happened in like the last 8 years.
It's almost like battered woman syndrome.
Yes.
No pun intended, right? And I'm not trying to take cheap shots at the females. You can even dive into ask me like, what's my take on the female inmate population?
Yeah.
But when it comes to SB 132, and we had a conversation earlier about God's purpose, God's plan, right? Now, I'm not going to Bible thump you or be a religious fanatical, but I do believe things happen for a reason. And around that time that you hit me up, I had no idea. I was just being myself with the experience and with the passion and drive that I had. Like, this is wrong. Oh, and then my daughter was extremely young. My daughter was extremely younger than what she is
like
right now.
4 or 5.
She had to have been 4. So that was relevant. Like, no, I wouldn't want this for my daughter.
Right.
I wouldn't want my daughter to be in this position. So something has to be said.
Well, and that's the same thing, surprisingly, that Senator Ted Cruz said in like a judiciary hearing. Another conservative said, if any of these women were my daughter, I would think the entire system is a failure. So there's time and time again that I've done my best to make sure that they understand that it's the opposite of what's being pushed. It's not what you think it is.
Dang, man, as we're kicking this off, it seems to me, and again, it's not judging, belittling, pointing fingers. It's just identifying the process that they're in, the situation that they're in, the mindset, and they're not wrong for having those ideas and beliefs. They're believing what's being spoon-fed to them.
Right. And that brings me to one of the questions. If, say wonderful things happen and, you do have a position in the department again, what would you do to increase the safety within the female population? How would you, because right now there's a lot of like strange leniency. There's a lot of privileges that are allowed by different organizations, for example, that can have, unfettered access to the population, unmonitored, like basically legal visits. People that aren't even lawyers are having legal visits. I don't know if I don't really think that's normal.
I get it. Just common sense applies. Common sense applies. For the record, I have zero experience working around female inmate population, but I'm totally cool with that, considering that you could have janitors become associate wardens and plumbers become associate wardens and office technicians become associate wardens and chief deputy wardens. So I'm totally fine in saying that I've only worked in male institutions around men and be fully capable and competent of making reasonable common sense decisions. I get a lot of feedback from correctional officers that work in female institutions, and they tell me the same shit, that it's off the hook and there's no structure, there's no security. That's so simple. Go back to, you see, there was already a process. There was already designations, there was already classifications. I mean, go back to level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4. Chill out on the overrides, right? And you guys need to understand, as I speak, nothing is like a hammer being dropped. It's just from my observations, probably case by case, of course, nothing blanket statement. And like level 1s, 2s, 3s, and 4s, okay? Then in my understanding, there's like honor dorms, there's condemned. Now you have condemned inmates everywhere on the main line.
There's condemned men. There's men from the row that are...
Okay, look, as we're speaking, I will get a pen right here. Here's my John Hancock. I want a condemned male out of a female institution right now. I don't care. They're gonna say, well, you can't do that. That's illegal. You're breaking the law. I don't care. Boom, sign. Because it takes somebody to make decisions, tough decisions, right? And if I have to explain myself in the court of law why I did what I did, I have no problem saying, yes, I removed a transgender male/female condemned death row inmate with 0 gun coverage. Plus, I know how to articulate.
None.
I know how to articulate.
There's 1 gun in the entire CCWF.
0 gun coverage. See, it's not hard for me to play the game, be smart, have common sense. Like, I can wrap policy, procedure, and law into every decision I make, which is technically what you're supposed to do.
Well, how are they able to work around the security measures when you're coming from men's death row? There is no equivalent to that in women's prison. There's no...
So, to answer your question, and that was a major one, classification, designations, drugs are plaguing every single institution in the department right now. Plaguing. And we can even tap in to, I didn't think we were going to dive right into CIW, fentanyl addiction. Woo. Not addiction, but yeah. What do you call this shit? Pandemic.
It's
Epidemic.
It's a problem. I mean, but we've always known that CIW is a trap house. CIW is
But I didn't know that.
It's always, for as long as I can remember, been easy access with narcotics. It's always there's an abundance.
It's funny. It's funny because I can hear the comments yelling now. Yeah, that's because the staff members are bringing it in. That's irrelevant. I already know how contraband gets introduced into institutions. I already know. Staff, visitors, drones, throwing a backpack over the fence, right? What we're saying is there is a lot of dope inside prisons, right? Now, how do we stop that? How do we curb that? How do we slow it down at least?
Well, I've always thought maybe if people got their lunch boxes checked at the top of every shift, it might.
They have incorporated that with the dog and the random checks,
Good.
right? But let's just back to basics: cell searches, bunk searches, locker searches, dorm searches.
That's what the older women at CIW are asking. That like, why aren't they people?
Pat downs.
There's no punishment. There's no accountability when they do get caught. Nobody's getting drug tested. Like what is going on?
Because I can tell you what happened. Remember, I joined the department in 2006 and rode that horrible roller coaster till 2022. There was a point in time where things made sense. If you suspected an inmate on drugs or narcotics or under the influence, you pull them over, quote unquote. You pat them down. You ask them some questions. You may put them in handcuffs. You may escort them to the clinic, right? You may get a write-up. You may get a piss test. He will be found guilty in a rules violation report, 115. It will get adjudicated. And then I saw approximately around 2012, everything changed. The direction is we no longer want you to pat down inmates. Now, that's the verbal direction. The verbal direction is, hey, if you write them up, it doesn't matter. We're just going to dismiss it. And me as a lieutenant, I've been guilty of dismissing RVRs because I was just caught up in that culture. It's a systemic culture. It's plaguing it. It's almost like, who cares? Nobody's going to do anything about it anyways. Just let them do whatever they want. That is the mentality. From the bottom to the top. Or I should say from the top to the bottom.
That's not very rehabilitative. That's messed up.
I didn't realize you had a sense of humor, but
I mean, yeah. So I've been told. What about the MAP program? I feel like the MAP program, the medically assisted whatever program where they're giving everybody Suboxone. I feel like that's a scam. That's a very bad thing. There's like old people who have been off smack for decades that are now addicted to Suboxone.
Well, Narcan. Inmates are now in possession of Narcan.
Well, who do you think was Narcan the cops?
Which is outrageous.
Yeah.
So you have Narcan, which somebody's making money off of Narcan.
You know, Newsom gets a 40% discount now. So
you have Suboxone. I'm sure somebody's getting paid for Suboxone. It's identical to what they're doing out in the homeless population. You're just funding a machine, but you're utilizing human bodies. So if these female inmates are complaining that they don't like conservatives, it's not the conservatives that are doing that. It's actually the opposite, that they're funding their own demise, which is what I stated earlier.
But we have, well-funded NGOs that really are the strong arm of the left that go in and propagandize them and, convince them that reality is not what it is, and up is not really up, down is not really down, and that you're transphobic, and you better shut up, stop complaining, stop lying, and the governor is overlooking your commutations and pardons because of your transphobia.
This conversation is getting deep. I didn't even know we were going to take it on this level, but I love these intellectual conversations. So basically for the crowd out there, what she was explaining to me earlier, that currently, any female inmate that voices their concern against transgender inmates, when they go up to parole hearing, that is like a negative outlook on them.
Hey, Warriors, if you haven't already signed up for our all-new website, HectorBravoShow.com, make sure you sign up at the link below, HectorBravoShow.com, to watch explicit, uncensored, never-before-seen prison footage. With that, love you. Keep pushing forward.
Has it been held against him?
Yeah. There's one case in particular, almost like 4 years ago, she wrote a 602 because this, Mexican mafia dropout person kept peeking in the bathroom in the day room at her. And at one point, this one was hiding in the toilet in the corner. What are you hiding for? You're like 6'2". We could see you in there, right? So she wrote a 602 about being uncomfortable, being forcibly housed with a trans-identified person who wasn't surgically transitioned, and that she didn't want...
Had a penis.
Yeah. Most of them do. She just didn't... She wanted this on the record. She wasn't fearing for her life or anything. She just wanted to voice her concern about the implementation of the policy of the law because it made her, as a survivor of sexual assault, feel uncomfortable.
Oh, that's even worse, dude. These stories just get worse, worse, and worse.
And this one is foul because then there were 2 other people who wrote similar 602s. Well, that person is a genius. They've been down for 25, 30 years. This fool dropped a note. These 3 end up getting arrested and sent to ADSEG for their own safety. They lose their honor dorm privileges. They lose their jobs. One of them lost her parole date.
Do you know if that 602 came up during the parole hearing?
No.
Okay.
I don't think so. Actually, well, but at one point,
So
the commissioner, he did tell her, why don't you just keep your mouth shut? Why didn't you just keep your head down and your mouth shut? You know how hard it is to get a parole grant. Why did you do this? But he's also the same commissioner that told her, that when her husband changed her passcode to evil lying whore, it was appropriate. So they get shit on a lot.
These people are evil. Like the people that we're talking about that control or attempt to control the narrative. Mm-hmm. I think they're losing ground, though. I think their way are slowly coming to an end.
I would like to think the same.
I think so. I think more people's eyes are open.
Because it's like to the point where it's undeniable. You can't miss this stuff. You can't.
Real quick though, since we're just going back and forth, I want you to know the similarities between retaliation, because that's exactly what that is. Retaliation. You have a female inmate voicing her concerns for having a male inmate housed with a penis. Stalking her is what he's essentially doing. Stalking, which is a crime and a chewable offense. Thank you. And she gets retaliated against for voicing her concern on a 602, removed off of her honor dorm setting. No different than a correctional officer who fears for his safety as a result of being put in bad predicaments, tries to blow the whistle. They're going to get retaliated against. They're going to get job changed. They're going to get put under investigation. And again, is it the right? Is it the left? It's a certain group of people, right? And to me, they're all incompetent and evil.
Yeah, and it's time for some accountability. And the time is coming. I think that the tides are turning, and it's going to be good because all these women who, and not just them, but the people who have suffered at the hand of, the dark side that's been puppeteering all of this, they're going to be vindicated. Like this lady went through so much. She had they all actually got write-ups. They got 115s after they 602. They got write-ups for false reporting and harassment.
Of course.
Harassment. And this person that they're defending so hard, he wrote an article about me that said I need to be identified, purged, and replaced. I need to be identified, purged, and replaced. This is somebody...
Who said that?
The person that they were complaining about in their 602s.
That sounds like a threat against you.
It sounds like a threat against my life.
Correct.
I mean, I sent it to the warden. I was like, you're going to just have this stuff floating around? This is obviously a threat against my life.
Correct.
You're going to keep having this, liberation newspaper that's really just
Marxist
Marxist
they put that
propaganda.
they put it in some type of institutional newsletter?
Well, no, it was out of San Francisco. It's a small publication, but it used to be like, a freedom fighter kind of thing.
Yeah.
But now they're just trans sympathizers and
You're stressing me out.
This guy, the arresting officer, the sheriff who arrested this guy in the 80s, when he found out that I was within arm's length of this guy, he was mortified. He said, "Oh no, you were close?" I said, "Yeah, like within arm's reach." He said, "No."
What do you mean?
Because I went into CCWF in 2022 or 21 for a IAC, used to be WAC and MAC, but IAC now, event. And I was so happy to see everybody. I'm like, yay, let's hug.
Right.
I felt happy to be back on grounds. I was like, wow.
Okay.
I always said I was going to come back and do this. And then the wind blew and I turned around to B yard and I was like, there he is.
You saw him?
I saw him, and I had never seen him before. Never seen a photo, never seen a mugshot, but I knew it was this person, and he's just making a beeline. And I was talking to ISU. I was like, oh, he's going to get me. And they're laughing. There's like, there's nothing we can do. The way this law is written, we literally cannot do anything. And I said, well, this person doesn't have a ducat. How's it? Because a lot of the ladies came over. They said, you know who that is, right? I said, I do.
That's wild.
And this is somebody who has a really long rap sheet in the men's joint for sexually assaulting men. This is somebody who frequently used bone crushers. This is somebody who's really scary over there. So why would you think it's suitable? Even on file, it says murder of another life inmate by a life-serving inmate.
There's no way.
And
There's no way.
Yeah,
There's no way.
I have the public information request.
There's no way. Wait a minute, man. This is crazy because like for the last 3 years, I've been grinding and I hit the whole female group initially, and then I've kind of stayed away from it for about almost 2 years, and now we're getting back to it.
Yeah.
The inmate.
He killed
is a transgender man, and he has a penis, and he's housed in a woman's institution, and he has an in-prison murder offense?
Yes. And it's on, I have the response from CDCR saying, if they don't associate it, they just gave me a list of charges.
All right, dude.
But we know it was that person.
Again, common sense, Hector. If you were the secretary, what would you do? A signature. Get this dude out of there. The COs be like, hey, well, we're afraid. He doesn't want to be transferred. Motherfucker, there's a policy for that. There's a cell extraction policy. There's a cool down period. Get the mental health. Like, stop fucking pissing me off. Do your fucking job. I don't want to hear shit. That's the problem that's going to be, though. Yeah, I can be the secretary all day long and give orders, right? But it's also enabling the officers to do, and the supervisors, to take action because they've been so conformed to not doing jack shit and like
it's like they're taking orders from the organizations that come in. It's like those are their boss now.
And the inmates.
Yeah.
It's like the inmates are their boss too, in a way.
And who is funding those people? It's not the conservatives. It's
Alexander
not all
Soros.
Yeah, it is. No, like literally. For real. I get the 990s out. Like it's
on the 990. You know what it is on the 990s. That's why I feel comfortable talking like this because it's all facts and it's not defamation of character or slander. It's on the tax forms.
And it's, these people, their funding is all tied together with, like, the Tides Foundation. It's all there.
Amend the California model, Bree Williams, UC San Francisco.
Oh, it's all connected. It's all connected. It's all circular spending. It's all coming out of the same purse. It's all.
I'll tell you what that is. That is money laundering disguised as rehabilitation.
Yes, that's perfect. That's exactly what it is. I'm going to make a phone call as soon as we're done because this is not okay. How about, what would you do about this? There's a water issue. Well, we know all the prisons are built on like toxic waste dumps, right? Because cheap prices on property. So Chowchilla happens to have toxic wells, and maybe people will care because the whatever crybaby prison across the street, VSP
Valley State Prison
that they took from us in 2012 and smashed us all into CCWF so that they could have the sensitive needs yard prison, yet they still made CCWF the overflow of PC overflow.
Of men?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, well, no, not technically. I mean,
I hear what you're saying.
But so the wells are poisonous. As soon as I got to that prison in 2009, I was like, this water, I got to call Aaron Brockovich. This water is bad. And I was telling my parents, please give me Aaron Brockovich's information.
Do those institutions have water treatment facilities?
No, but since 2019 in the budget, millions have been allocated for groundbreaking on a water purification plant on site for the arsenic and the manganese. That's not including the 7 other highly cancerous toxins that are in the water. But they have never broken ground.
They haven't?
No.
How about in 2026? Have they broken ground?
No, and it's supposed to be finished this year.
But they've received money.
Yeah. And then they just asked for 19 million more to get new wells.
Now, I'm not a fucking doctor, but somebody should probably ask where this money went. Maybe?
I think so. I would like to know because I don't think it costs like $19 million to get the Brita filters for all the day room drinking fountains.
True.
Then the ladies are like, well, when it's on yellow and we tell them to change it, they won't. And I'm like, do you think that Brita thing is taking out the arsenic?
That is water. That is basic human needs. That is a civil rights violation.
Absolutely. And then the cancer rates continue to go up and up and up. But they try to charge me CCHCS.
You know, you said a lot of these female inmates think I'm an asshole or they don't agree with what I say, right? And I'm like, dude, this is water, bro. That's like these inmates don't even have the option to go to Costco and get a case of water. They're like literally at the expense of staff and the resources or their lack of. Like, again, there's certain imminent decisions that have to be made fast, and because it's technically life or death.
Right. And for many, it's death because these women are getting cancer. And they're even in like appropriation or budget meetings, it has been stated this water is poisonous. It cannot be consumed. Yet you're continuing to let them bathe, cook, and drink it.
That's fucking nasty.
And how many of my friends have gotten double mastectomies, they're getting cancer, not just from, the water. I mean, asbestos, bare hand asbestos abatement, all of that stuff. But the CCHCS wanted to charge me $600 to get the cancer rate diagnosis for like the last 5 years, because I wanted it from the time they acknowledged that the water was a problem to now. And I don't have $600 to pay for paperwork, but I already know. I just wanted that so I could, show somebody someday. But this is a problem. They're actually CIW women actually watched water, like pallets of water sitting in the sun for months that they couldn't touch. While their water, they have a boil, they have to boil their water. They said there's like sea monkeys in it.
That's fucking nasty.
And the directions say you have to put a little bit of bleach in your water.
Yeah.
They don't have bleach handy, It's not like they
They got fucking fentanyl handy, I'll tell you that much.
They do. They do. In the Bibles. But this is a problem. These things are negligent
No, negligent is like minor. These are fucking catastrophic.
Yeah. This is actually causing people to die. Like they're dying.
Well, so is mixing GPs and SNYs, but yeah, that's a whole nother can of worms.
Speaking of mixing GPs and SNYs, do you think like the general public understands that they're putting level 4 men into a women's mixed 1 through 4, and that a women's level 4 is like the equivalent of a level 2, and you now have
the public is unique. Right. The public is unique.
That's
Society as a whole is unique, right? And I approach life now as a enlightened man, a so-called philosopher, and it's no different than what the greats before me observed. People want to live in their make-believe world that doesn't fucking actually apply. They'd rather pretend things are not happening. They'd rather consume alcohol, drugs, self-medicate, be on their phone, go to parties. Instead of like actually facing a problem, they'd rather ignore it.
I try and tell people as often as possible, we're all just like one glass of Chardonnay away from that fatal DUI that's going to land you in the same situation as my friends. That's why you got to care about this.
Facts.
Got to care about this.
Yeah, and on that documentary that we did, you and I, docuseries, one of the questions asked to me was like, why should the American people care? Why should they care? I said, why? Because there's nothing preventing like your kid from fucking getting in an accident and killing somebody. There's nothing saying that your kid's not gonna cause harm to another human being. And I mean, fucking people are wired. People will go any direction they want to go, no matter how good of a parent you are.
I'm sure my parents, my dad's a sheriff.
Right.
He wasn't expecting, I don't think they were expecting this. But it happened. And I mean, I know it happened for a reason and that I'm supposed to be right here, but the way the public is so disconnected from this issue makes me feel weird. Like,
I feel very grateful about this, is that I would like to think that I brought to the general public the idea that, hey, not all parolees are scumbags. Not all former gang members are scumbags, because like that used to be the mindset. And that at one point in time, that was my mindset, right? Until you have these conversations and you realize, motherfucker, they're successful, way more ethical than some of these dudes wearing suits in Sacramento.
Oh, a lot.
Oh, yeah, correct.
A lot.
Correct. That was one of the things that made me want to resign from the department. I was sitting in my lieutenant's office thinking like, these inmates are more ethical than these managers. That is not okay for me to be thinking, because like something's wrong here. I gotta go.
It's the upside down kingdom. Things are upside down. How do you get like legislators? How would you get the governor?
But they're in on it.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not gonna say her name. I mean, I guess I could. I don't care. I'm just tired. I'm tired of being banned. I'm tired of being censored by Instagram, Twitch, Patreon, YouTube. I'm like the shadow ban king over here. But there was a senator from California who I took a Zoom call with. I said, "Hey, ma'am, so-and-so is responsible for this. So-and-so is responsible for this. I have documentation." She's like, "Yeah, okay, cool. Thank you. We'll call you later." Never. That was 3 years ago. Never heard from her. That's a senator, actual senator. They don't care. People always ask me, Hector, who do we have to tell? Who can help us? I'm like,
That's why I'm going to the United Nations, baby. I mean, because
I'm like,
if California
hey, dude,
don't care.
I don't think you realize how high this shit goes. Like, even the FBI. I could pick up the phone and call the FBI. Where are they? They're not going to come and kick in nobody's door.
No, everybody's compromised. It's so disheartening. Like that's how I really, my heart goes out to the women in the feds, because who do you call?
Talking about that.
Who do you call for help when you're in the feds? The feds.
Ooh, that's rough.
And they're like, there's one woman who's, I flew out to Tallahassee to one of her hearings because she saw me on Fox News or something. Her lawyers got in touch with me and said, Rhonda would really like to talk to you. I was like, okay. And I was like, damn, this lady's down for the cause. She's ready to die because she knows the weight that is on her shoulders. The women in prison don't understand. Unfortunately, the existence of women as women is on their shoulders. If they don't stand up and do something, we're done. But this lady knows. She knows, and she's shouldering this. And I ain't never seen a judge treat someone so horribly in my life. I was like, I wanted to jump over the thing. I was like, oh, hell no. And she had messaged me before they transported her to court, and she said I was assaulted last night. They cut my clothes off, and they said I was suicidal. I was not. I never have been. They cut my clothes off and threw me in a cell with no clothes, no blanket, nothing. So I'm gonna look like crap in court today, but I guess maybe that'll be helpful. And I was like, oh, my heart. Because who do you ask for help when the U.S. Marshals are beating you up, you know?
And then the public perception to some is like, who gives a fuck?
Shouldn't have done
they're
it.
Inmates. They shouldn't. Don't do the crime if you can't do the time. That's what is a consensus, right? And I'm like, no, dude, you're missing the whole entire fucking point here. The point is, regardless, with the exclusion of the child molesters, the rest are human, right? And you have staff working in there, okay? You have officers working in there. If shit gets fucked up with the inmates, shit's gonna get fucked up with the staff. It's like a fucking kingdom, like you said, a kingdom in there. It's like, it's its own little world, right? So you can't just have unhappy, violent, unhealthy inmates and expect the whole place to be cool, because it's not. It's going to kick off.
No, and
I've
there's
been there when
no
it kicks
mental
off.
health. There's no mental health. It feels like staff is miserable, and all these youngsters. There's no like guidance. You know, there's no old heads to help them out.
They're gone.
I mean, when I was there were dudes that was like, okay, granddad. It was like your grandpa yelling at you, "Where's your pruno? Give it to me." And it was different. It's like we were a freaking family. You know, I knew that on Sundays he was gonna come through with the bullhorn, talk about where's my pruno, bring it out, and it was like,
You know what? This was all done by design, though. Around the year 2012, that push was done for this, right? But I think as me and you speak, and as more people speak, we have to bring it back. It has to, because it has to offset itself. Even if you're a young correctional officer and you think I'm full of shit, when the inmate stabs you in your fucking throat, you will figure out for yourself whether I was full of shit or not.
yeah, that overfamiliarity thing with the California model was insane. Like, you don't want overfamiliarity, right? Because the officers are clearly having sex with all these women, and it's a horrible abuse of power. But you want them to call each other by their first names?
I don't even want to ask questions. I don't ask a lot of questions about female institutions because I don't want to know.
I mean, it's crazy. It's
know.
crazy. It's crazy. Even though it's not.
Is it anything like The Orange Is the New Black? Have you seen
No,
that?
you know what? I watched the first season and I cried a little bit because I was stupid like that lady. Oh, these look like Toms. Look at these shoes. But
I have seen probably the first season.
the brainwashing, the soft programming that went into that with Laverne Cox, to have the entire world thinking that every time I say a trans person in women's prison, they're thinking of Laverne Cox when actually it's men with Cox. It's not
100%.
that person.
100%.
And you know, the ACLU was they were complicit in that
Did Orange Is the New Black? Did they have a transgender in there?
Yeah.
I don't remember that
and
shit.
and that person went to like the Academy Awards with that ugly little lawyer from the ACLU. They're buddied up. You know, this was so exquisitely executed. And it was at the perfect time, so that as soon as I hit the scene complaining about this, I looked like I was
I've
mean
I've seen
person.
some of these fools because I was on Charlie Art RJD level 4 SNY EOP. Yeah, they had nothing glamorous about that shit, man. It looks like they put fucking 2 packs of ground beef in their fucking Daisy Dukes.
Well, now, since they can get an unlimited amount of elective surgeries, it's a different story. You have people walking around now with facelifts, nose jobs, and I'm like, wait.
Yeah, asshole bleaching from what I hear.
Nose jobs, cheek implants, chin implants. That's all under facial feminization.
That's fucking cool. Taxpayer money. That's fucking cool, bro.
$4 million on breast implants for men. And the vaginoplasties, you know, the ones who do go through with that, it's never really done correctly the first time, so they got to get it done again. Some dude just got his breast implants bigger.
They get dildos issued to them as a medical DME appliance.
Yeah, well, because you have to dilate in order to
oh my fucking god!
But those get sold.
Why I quit.
They get sold because you move to the women's prison and
People
you
wonder
sell
why I
it.
Come on, dude. I don't want to be around any of that shit,
No,
man.
but then there's look at there's the whole population in Mule Creek and Vacaville who are thriving and, you know, programming and happy and in long-term relationships that are like, we don't want to be associated with this. Who told you that we were in here getting, you know, brutalized? I said, Scott Wiener. And they were like, well, who told him that? Because we didn't.
Well, that's what California's citizens don't understand. The California Department of Corrections and Rehabilitation is made up of numerous populations. There's gangsters, your GP gangsters, which that's a small group now. That is very far and few in between. You have your SNY, your normal SNY.
But then there's the crazy SNY.
And then you have the EOP SNYs, which is like Skid Row.
Oh,
the
the ones that
crazy
they like to
SNYs.
send to Chowchilla. Oh, yeah, okay.
And then you have like your gays, which would be SNY, which would...
But they're scary now, right?
But they're also... There's a mixture that can be in the regular SNY or the EOPs, and then the women's institutions. But yeah, not every inmate is the same at all.
No. What happened to FOPS?
Who?
Remember the female offender programs and services?
I never bought into any of those.
Well, it's Region 2
Acronyms.
now. It's Region number 2. So instead of dealing with having female offender programs and services, they just made it Region 2, which is interesting because it goes from Chowchilla to Chino.
Oh, Region 2. Yeah, FOPS. Well, that's the associate directors. They divvied it up. Yeah. The ADs for the prisons. Yeah.
I'm not a big fan. I'm not a big fan of that. Those
Of what?
specific, those individuals.
One is solid.
One?
One. I'm not going to say
Probably
who
not.
because I always protect the good people,
Yes,
right?
yes.
Because again, if we say a good name that we like, they're going to retaliate against that
Well,
person.
and I was told that the one who you know is no good was good. So I was thinking, okay, this is going to be an
No,
ally.
but I know for sure my experience with this person was fucking good, like
yeah.
good.
Well, they what did I want to tell you that was very strange that okay, it wasn't with the FOBs. How about the Riot? How would you have handled
If I
that?
was secretary?
Yes.
Oh, okay, here we go. So she's referencing the abomination of a riot at Central California Women's Facility,
Yeah.
CCWF in Chowchilla, that resulted in a Code 3 and numerous chemical agents, baton, physical force. I think baton was used. 40 millimeter, less lethal.
The grenade launcher came out.
40 millimeter. Yeah.
I mean.
So, again, first and foremost, everything has to take, and the department's broken, everything has to take its investigative process. From the report writing to the internal affairs, which is a fucking sham and a scam, to the interviews, to the AVSS, to the use of force, the allegations of excessive use of force and unnecessary use of force. So all of this has to be taken into account, right? It's easy for me to I spotted the problems as a regular civilian sitting on the couch with my experience. At the time, said Chief Deputy Warden Cynthia Rojas, who I knew when she was an AW at Donovan, was acting as warden for a week. Of course,
Because De La Cruz was in Sacramento.
acting as associate director AD. So they were both bumped up one acting, which happens a lot in CDCR. And she decided to go nuts with her 1 week of power and order a search of the woman's 513 dorm, which is problematic or alleged to be problematic. Well, no search plan, no nothing, no direction. You had a lieutenant acting as a captain. And again, everybody's bumping up. So for the people that don't understand, like, what is it like to act? What is it like to bump up to the next level? You really don't have that fucking experience quite yet. Unless you do have that experience from prior experiences, but you really don't. So, like, it's almost like if you're like a first grader and you're getting put like into third grade or fourth grade, right? You're like in a whole new realm with a lot of responsibilities.
That's going to take a lot of skills and adaptive.
100%. 100%. And the women, and poor planning or zero planning.
Well, normally, like from my, experience of being a resident, you're told ahead of time, because women do have a very strong emotional tie to stuff. So they usually give you an opportunity to mail your crap home so you could be in compliance,
The thing is that, and I initially agreed with what you just said right now because I had forgotten. But they're like, Hector, when do we ever warn the inmates that we're going to do a search? You're right. We don't warn them because we can catch contraband. The goal is to get contraband. So it goes back to us. How do we reduce fentanyl? How do we reduce drug paraphernalia? How do we reduce overdoses? These are the points of these searches, right? And the ladies were in the chow hall. It was hot. It was August.
And I've been locked in that chow hall in August.
I've been
pretty scary.
Yeah, you got the scullery running. You got the. It's hot. The whole place sucks.
Yeah,
prison fucking sucks.
Yeah.
People's tensions are fucking.
It's so scary when you're locked in the chow
I
hall
want to
too.
say that was a weekend. Was it a weekend? Do you know? Because the lady wasn't there.
It might have been a Friday or a Thursday because I remember their tablets were down. And there was no communication until the next week.
So then they initiate a code one. The ladies didn't get down. Me knowing policy, me being an alarm response instructor, former CRT, crisis response team. Like, I understand what it's supposed to look like flawlessly, and it didn't happen flawlessly. It happened fucking like shit. What they should and could have done is once they hit the alarms and the ladies did not get down, at which point in time they could have used force per policy and procedure to overcome the resistance of them not getting down during an active alarm. The imminent threat was present. There's an active alarm. If you look at all the operating procedures or the handbooks for the inmates, it says when there's an alarm, you got to be seated or in a prone position. All of that is your bread and butter, right? But that's not what happened.
Well, and I think there were mixed codes. Somebody called like a code 3, somebody called a code 4, so they don't even know what they're responding to.
Disaster.
Yeah.
It was a fucking disaster, right? Code 3 responders come in, which point in time they see what they see, boom, they initiate force. Everybody initiates force.
Well, and a lot of the ladies told me that there were like scary staff, scary officers that came in that they had never seen before. They had like black scary uniforms on.
Yeah, ISU.
They were like, we don't know who these guys are, and this is a prison. It's so different. The culture is so different there. These are.
No, I get it. I get it. I understand. They quelled. I mean, when I say they quelled, there was really nothing to quell other than put them down. They got put down, fucking by force. All right. Then they go outside. There's a big fucking group of ladies sitting down. Now.
And they're zip tied, right?
They're zip tied. What you see is you see one female inmate stand up and start walking towards another inmate. All right. Should that inmate have done that? No. Absolutely not.
Right.
Okay, per logical common sense, like you're just not gonna do that, right? Is it against the rule, or I would say it's you're pushing the limit. Let's get technical. You now presented an imminent threat. Somebody like Hector Bravo, with the mindset that I have and the experience, I could easily articulate, hey, that lady posed an imminent threat by standing up and walking towards another seated position, fearing for the seated inmate's safety. I assumed that person was going to kick her right in the mouth. Have we seen stuff happen like that before? I definitely have seen inmates get kicked in the fucking mouth by other inmates.
That's not good. Yeah.
So, and then we were talking about the cups too.
Oh,
They
yeah.
were throwing
Somebody
cups,
threw
but it
cups.
doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. That whole situation was fucked from the start to the finish. The investigative interviews were biased. They were biased towards the managers, which was more of a casual interview like this. And then they were grilling the correctional officers. Why didn't you do this? They were actually lying. They were actually fucking everything all up. Trust me. I know policy. And the officers that admitted to using force, which is not dishonesty, they just did not know how to articulate why they used force. And it's like somebody told me, Hector, being dumb is not a violation of the law.
No, I mean, it's something that should be, you can coach somebody out of that. You can penalize them and then bring it on home.
Correct.
But then there was no, like, with all the people that live in 513, afterwards, they just cut off communication.
So this is what you have. You have female inmates that got fucked up.
Yeah.
You have managers that got promoted.
What the hell is that? Every time a female does something that is really not good in CDCR, she gets a promotion.
Yeah, that's the way it goes. And then you had officers get fired, total of 6.
Right.
So, and again, Hector Bravo has been saying the same fucking shit for the last 3 years. Administration is playing the both of you and getting away with their bullshit, which is exactly what happened. You have female inmates get fucked up with chemical agents and officers get fired. And Cynthia Rojas got an acting position at CTF Soledad as a warden. What would I do as a secretary? Immediately fucking remove that position, that post. You're
clerking again? You're going to...
Yeah, you're in an administrative fucking find a seat in an office, sit there, don't bother nobody till I fucking will forget about you. These 6 officers, you better write a fucking memorandum as to why you want this fucking job back, why you suck at report writing and why you need to get better, right? And then I'm going to chew out the fucking sergeants, lieutenants, captains, AWs, and the fucking chief and the warden. Like, dude, why am I having to come here and unfuck all your shit, right? Now, the female inmates, again, I'm a fair motherfucker. I'm a fair one, right? It might take some time, but it'll always correct themselves, right? The wrong will get righted like down the road. However it may be. Hey, boss, can we fucking have this type of festival? Can we have this?
That's how it used to be when I was
Right,
there.
like-
You fuck up and then you earn it back. It's a symbiotic relationship. It's a bicycle. I mean...
It's like, I never forget, right? And there's been numerous times in my career where inmates have gotten done dirty. No, they have gotten fucking done dirty. I knew it and they knew it, but we said, hey, hang on. We're going to get you on the back end. That's exactly what we'll tell them. We're going to get you on the back end. And
but the new booties,
and we got them on the back end.
the new booties, well, you don't want to get them on the back end over there. This is a lawsuit. But this is the new booties. They don't have that same. They don't have that work ethic. They don't have that code of conduct where they want to build a rapport with these ladies.
Everything went to hell. 100% everything went to hell.
And then this is the fastest aging population. These my friends are turning into old ladies in there, you know? So you got these kids that are coming in and they're not respecting or even considering the fact that these are older women. These are my friends. We're all going through the menopause, you know? I mean, it's there's no...
I get it. Dude, it would take like... It's weird because I would not change my approach that I've been on the internet and YouTube. My message, I would not change my message. Maybe it would hit different to these officers if I was their boss, like officially their boss, which I've told them from the beginning, titles don't mean shit, bro. You have a boss right now. He's fucking worthless. He's horrible. He's going to get you killed. Why the fuck do you need me to have a title to tell you what to do for you to do the right thing? Why do you need anybody to tell you to do the right thing?
Just do it. Just be like Nike. Just do it. What would you do about elder parole? You know how they're not letting the old people go. How do you explain to people that the crime wave that we're experiencing on the streets has nothing to do with people that have been down for 20 or 30 years. These old heads that have been down for 20 or 30 years are not, in fact, in the streets causing chaos.
You know what's weird about you saying that is when AB 109 happened around 2009, 2010, there were major incidents with parolees shooting it out with the cops. There were Sacramento. There were. But as the years progress, I'm finding that to be less, right? You're right. There are lifers. Fuck, I interview them all the time right here. I'm going to interview another one next week, 2 weeks. How would I view it? I would look, I mean, yeah, I'm a realist though, and I could read people. I have high emotional intelligence. I think by now BPH is doing a good job. They didn't approve the Menendez brothers, which is good for me. Like I didn't want them to, right?
That was embarrassing. They embarrassed the whole LWAT population, you know? Like they should have had their shit lined up. Why didn't their lawyers advise them to have their backyards cleaned? They just got up there all sloppy toppy, all just looking stupid.
Like I know LWAP, one a black dude and another one a Mexican. Like those youngsters, and they were youngsters when I met them, and they're a little older, but like they deserve to go home. For sure, they deserve to go home. 100% they deserve to go home. And this is me saying this as a 3-year civilian, where that job fucking it jades you. It jades you bad. Like you see through a lens of just like hate.
I understand. I overstand. And it's hard to not let that consume you. I have to like check myself regularly, like, and remind myself why I'm in this, because it's the right thing to do. It's not because it's fun. It's not because it's popular. It's definitely not because I'm getting rich.
I second that for myself.
Fuck, man. And it's crazy because you see the opposition getting like $150,000 a year.
I don't give a fuck though, because that's dirty money.
It is.
That's blood money.
And I don't want it. I would rather be living in my dad's house, you know, and driving my aunt's Prius than you know,
that's dirty
perpetuating a lie and writing a check on my friends' backs in their own blood.
Exactly.
I don't.
Exactly. And I don't know how our union, and I say our, because let me rephrase that. I don't know how the fuck the CCPOA union is okay sleeping at night, living in mansions, eating steak and lobster and filet mignon and golfing on the blood of correctional officers' money.
Okay, correctional. Okay, blood. Speaking of blood. Okay, remember Mule Creek? Last year, we had 2 murders and family visiting, right? Back to back.
Inmate Brinson, yeah, one of them.
Back to back. A lot of ladies were concerned. I was deeply concerned that they were going to take away family visiting from lifers and LWAPs. And that was hard to get, you know? But actually, no action was taken. I don't think that was a good decision either, because these things happen like back to back in the same prison. Why wasn't something done on site? Like, obviously there's an issue there with security in family visiting.
I know I was thinking that they were gonna ban family visits for lifers again. That's what I was thinking. But I don't think the public realizes that there is literally nobody making decisions in the department. There's literally nobody making decisions. You have Jeff McCumber. Let me rephrase this. There's nobody making decisions in the department. What there are people is doing is pushing a narrative, pushing an agenda. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I don't want to fucking make a decision, but I want to push filth. For them, it's easier.
Why is it easy for them to be so corrupt? Like, I couldn't.
There's fucking like jellyfishes without a spine.
He doesn't have a brain either. You know, before he got appointed, it was at a hearing for him or whatever, and one of the lawyers that's on the SB 132 case, you know, she asked or something. What would you do to ensure women's safety now that they're integrated with the transgenders? And they said, just put them on a different tier. You worked in CDCR for almost 30 years and you don't know that there's no tiers in the women's prisons?
Put them on a different tier?
On a different tier. We don't have tiers, sir. There's no tiers.
Who said that?
McCumber.
No.
Yeah. And I was like,
That's
this
my
guy,
boy right there.
You can't be
Put him
director.
On a different tier.
You can't be
Come
director.
On, Jeff.
Come on.
Put him on a different tier. Who
Yeah.
the fuck? See what I mean? Nah, man.
I was devastated. I was like, there aren't tiers in our prison. This is an American made. It's Chowchilla.
Tier.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now that just sounds like somebody once told him like, oh yeah, boss, just put him on a different tier, and the stupid asshole.
Okay.
These guys are not the brightest. These individuals are not the brightest in charge.
They're just puppets.
Yeah, that's how they got there.
But they are
how they got
smart
there.
enough to make a grip of money. I mean,
No, well, they're okay. Within the rank system of CDCR, from secretary to director to chief deputy director to associate warden to warden, I do not believe that they are accumulating monetary income. I do not believe that. What they are doing is selling out for a title, power, perceived power, and a position. That's what they're selling out for.
pathetic.
Oh, it's absolutely pathetic. Trust me. I've seen some scandalous shit in my time. So I'm not to say that they're not pocketing any money, right? But in my heart, I don't believe that. I don't see how that would be possible without some weird, really far out criminal shit going on. But they're selling out for titles, monies, and power. Facts.
that's like pathetic, like
It's disgusting.
trench coat mafia, high school reject type of stuff.
Beautiful.
You weren't,
Beautifully said.
you weren't allowed. You can't sit with us. You still can't sit with us.
You still can't. And even when you retire, bitch, you're not welcome either.
No.
You were never welcome.
No,
And
that's
you try to tell war stories and lies, the truth is out there.
Oh, that's like stolen valor.
I mean, there's 102 dead bodies.
that's crazy.
You can't like get a broom and sweep that under the rug.
That's
You can't.
wait. So there's like what 90,000 incarcerated people in
90,000.
California. So 102 out of that's a very high percentage.
And I always say since December 2022, but realistically, that is January 2023 because from December to January is 1 year. So from January 2023 to 2020, now 6, in a span of 3 years, and some people might think like, oh, well, Hector, 102 murders in a 3-year span in a prison system is not a lot of numbers. Well, for a fucking prison system to be claiming that everything is fine and happy.
and that they're doing so well, they need $4 billion more this year.
Yeah.
I mean, for
Yeah.
$18 billion, I would heal the world. You know what I'm
100%,
saying? Like
easily.
We would world hunger, global warming would all be done for $18 billion.
Fix the water issue that you were talking about at CIW.
Everybody would have a new set of teeth and boobs. Everybody, it
Facts.
will be good.
Yeah.
But $18 billion, I don't think that is justifiable on any level. They just closed 2 prisons. The population is decreasing, and you want $4 billion more dollars.
So the people getting paid money are secretary or are above the secretary. Your governor, your CEOs of these foundations, your we were having a conversation earlier about the 2 former CDCR secretaries.
Yeah.
It's funny how they're still around, right? Like they're getting fucking paid.
Yeah, they're contracting now. That's right.
And I served under both of them. Like,
That's crazy, man. What?
as a matter of fact, I think he was the one pushing today's inmate is tomorrow's neighbor.
Yeah, I believe so.
The bullshit has been going on since 2012, right? And while I don't knock the idea that today's inmate is tomorrow's neighbor, I knock how you did it all wrong.
Well, there's the services that are allegedly provided are not provided.
Correct.
And I feel like, if we really wanted to make the world a better place and really put the R in CDCR, there would be more, give these 290s some resources. Because those are the ones they're all going to prioritize and let go anyway, right? So why not ensure that they have access to programming that's going to help them?
But from my experience, general population inmates have less incentives, less programs, and less opportunity than your out of control fucking SNY.
Oh, always. Because I'm a square, of course. I'm not like... Okay, I look like a narc. So I'm in there. I don't get no perks. I can't get a bed move. I have to
Right.
give a kidney to get moved out of a room where I'm getting my ass whipped every day. But you have Bebe's kid come over here, throw a trash can at the cop shop, flip them off, tell them to, and you get to move into the room with your girlfriend tonight. And you guys get to have a igloo in your room full of ice every day.
I was on the phone with somebody yesterday, and I said Bebe's Kids. They're like, what the fuck is that? I was like, Google it, Bebe's Kids. It said 1992. I said, I used to watch this shit when
Yeah,
I was
wonderful.
8 years old.
It was the good one. It was fun. But, these are people with no culture. They don't have no exposure to the things that we've enjoyed in life, like Baby's Kids. I lived with so many for so long. and they're the ones who get prioritized in the department. You act
No,
out.
facts. Fucking facts. I'm going to tell you a juicy story. I started at Centinela State Prison. Regular, normal gangster shit, GP.
Yeah.
And then I go to Donovan. Oh, the circus, right? I see an inmate, a Samoan, that I recognize from Centinela. And I'm like, hey, what's up, man? Like, hey, what's up, dude? Oh, hey, what up, Farrell? That's my last name. Oh, shit, you moved up the ranks? Yeah, what up, dude? All right, he finds himself in ADSEG, this inmate. And then, like, he's refusing to give the handcuffs up. And I'm like, what the fuck? I'm a lieutenant at this point. I go over there. I'm like, hey, dude, what's up? Like, what's up? Oh, hey, like, you know, like, this is what I have to do. Everybody else is doing it to get what they want. I'm like,
Aww.
I'm like, he's not wrong. He's not wrong. I said, dude, you're right. Like, I thought, I'm like, dude, that's fucked up. That's the truth. I go, give me back the handcuffs, dude, and we'll fucking figure this shit out, man. He's like, all right, fucking gave them to me. I'm like, dude, this place is so fucked up. It rewards the bad behavior.
Yes, it does. It does. And there's like, it's growing and growing. Like when the California model was popping before they just kind of radioed it, there's a lieutenant, I don't know, sergeant, a weak individual, weak man. And I know he was taking 115s and knocking them down to 128s. I know that they weren't pushing their buttons during altercations because they didn't want Sacramento to know there was an alarm today. But at the same time, this person's also sending emails back and forth to the PIO talking about, here she goes on Fox again. There she's another interview.
Oh, yeah.
Look at what she's doing. Like, what, get out of here, man.
Right.
But then you see me in my face and you shake my hand and ask me if I'll help you,
Right.
you know, with the California model going smooth in 511. I don't think so, Chuck.
Yeah, no, I hear you.
This is, it's real weird. But I think overall, the bottom line is, if you were to even have like a day of oversight in CDCR, we would be in 100% better shape than
A day of oversight? Like, how many are you giving me? Like, 8-hour day, 12-hour
So you
day,
gotta work a
or
16-hour
16-hour
shift.
day? You give me a 16-hour shift from what, 6 to 6? I could fuck a lot of shit up in
Yeah.
6 to 6.
I'm sure you would find all of the unknown substances in CIW and figure that out. I'm sure you would, you know, make sure everybody is
I
fed.
think to maximize my fucking like efforts and time, I would surround myself in a room full of competent people that I know in the department, and I would just start giving out orders like, hey, dude, I need you to handle this problem. You to handle this problem, right? Because I'm not going to solve all the problems myself, but I know that these individuals are fully capable of utilizing their brain and experience.
Do you know that many people in the department that have that?
You're right. It's actually small. It's small. And if you want me to be realistic and honest, hey, Hector, how many competent are there per institution on average? Fuck. 5.
Dang.
And I'm not even kidding.
That's heartbreaking.
But I'm talking about like competent, solid mother people that are just gonna be like, this dude has it, make it happen.
What happened? Like, I feel like this is a reflection of a societal breakdown, because I
It
always
is a reflection.
consider that a
100%.
prison is a microcosm of humanity as a
100%.
whole. Like, there were times, like when I got my face broken, my housing staff was like crying. They were, Amy, just tell us who did it. They were so devastated. Like, there's not that connection there anymore, you know? Like
5 per institution.
Damn.
Competent. For sure. Okay, and if you want me to be like, stretch it, like 10, let's just say there's 10, but the job's not going to get done as good as this other person's going to do it, right? I'm talking about like maybe 5 all-stars. Wow. Like all-stars, right? But ultimately, it's the all-stars that get burnt out because they're fucking carrying the dead weight of everybody else.
Right. I think there's one really solid cop left at CCWF, and I mean, they're so lucky he's still there. But how much can he do? He is one person.
I don't even think that we have seen the result of all the last OGs leaving, because how many percentage of OGs would you say are still around? 5
like
or 10%?
maybe 5%, because
maybe 7% of OGs that really actually know. I'm talking about like early 90s motherfuckers that know. They're gone, dude. But we haven't seen the result of them being 100% gone.
maybe what if they came back and did a mentorship program? Could they hold hands with the new staff?
No. Because then it's also the ability, and again, dude, It's not that I'm knocking new staff. It's at this point, it's just whatever. It's just the truth. It's like, I don't know if they're capable of learning a new skill set. I don't know if they're capable of...
Maybe if we put it on TikTok, they could understand.
But do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I can show you, dude, like, hey, I'm going to show you how to do the best pat down where you're watching me, right? Come here, get in on this. And then I leave, and then they just fuck it all up and shit the bed.
Yeah, because it has to be hand over hand.
They
It's
forget what I just told them.
It's a cognitive issue.
I'm like,
it's
bro,
freaking crazy.
Didn't I just show you how to fucking do this?
Huh? And they're like this.
No, I'm on to something. When I was a sergeant and a lieutenant, like I said, Hector didn't just get on the internet and just start screaming out answers. I did my due diligence within the department as an employee, and it was all leading me fucking nowhere real fast. Technically, so is this, but at least
At least it's fun.
at least I'm not in a fucking prison setting, right?
Yeah.
But I used to tell these officers, like, hey, dude, do not let these inmates walk right behind you. They would literally let them walk, pretty much tap on their fucking shoulder. I'm like, hey, what are you doing? Like, hey,
That's weird.
Or it's dangerous what it is.
I don't even want.
And it's not paranoia, right? And it's
No.
not like stereotyping. It's like, hey, dude,
Be
do
safe.
inmates stab COs in prison? Yes, they do. Okay. I don't know which one is going to do it, which one's not going to do it. So it's just better to, across the board, have boundaries. Mm-hmm. Right?
Boundaries are good.
Respectful boundaries. Even my little daughter knows about boundaries.
I wish somebody would have taught me that. Maybe next time, but yeah.
To a degree. Because my ex is trying to teach my daughter about safe spaces, and I'm like, nah, we're not doing that. We're not doing that.
I hate that word so much.
We're not doing that. So it's like a happy median. Like, hey, have your boundaries, but at some point you're going to have to face the music. Mm-hmm. And the music's going to suck at sometimes.
But it's going to happen, and you're going to be able to recover, and you're going to be healthy.
Stronger.
Yeah. And it's not going to, make you have to be on medication or go cry or, I don't know, whatever it is that people do now. Everybody's so soft. I don't know. I tell people a lot. I go to Washington, D.C. a lot. Everybody could benefit from going to prison for about a week, maybe just a weekend.
As an inmate or a CO?
No, as an inmate. Everybody needs to get broke down and understand.
I don't know, man. I went to jail. I went to Imperial County Jail for 1 week, and it sucked.
Jail's really bad. I wish I would have gone straight to prison.
Sucked.
I don't. Yeah, jail's disgusting. I felt that's the most dehumanizing experience I
It
ever
sucked,
had.
especially coming out of the military. I really felt the fact like, damn, I just fought for freedom, quote unquote, right? Even though it was an Iraq war over oil, which is a whole nother propaganda fucking.
The same one we're doing today. Okay, well, sorry.
But that lack of freedom fucking sucks.
Yeah, and I don't think anybody can really value or understand how great freedom is until you've had it removed, until you've lost it. And I feel like that was one of the greatest parts of me going to prison was losing my freedom, because I would have never valued it or respected it. It took me going to prison for 5 years to understand why my grandfathers fought, what freedom really means.
Yeah.
To be completely deprived of that. And I mean, it's my own fault, but it was so necessary. Like,
And we'll talk about like sentencing laws. Since I've been on my podcast and I've talked to numerous former juvenile lifers, these 14-year-old kids, and again, I'm not making excuses for them. I'm not, I'm not excusing any of their behavior or actions, but these 14-year-old kids got charged with fucking 3 life sentences plus 60. Like, dude, like.
that's a child.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah, they committed, the act of murder. Let's keep it real. But 3 life sentences plus 60, like, dude. And knowing what I know now about the human brain does not stop developing.
And I promise you, that's real, because I was like
of
2
course
days
that's
shy
real.
of my 25th birthday, and my brain didn't work yet. It
Of
didn't
course
work
that's real.
yet.
I joined the Army at 17. I was learning how to kill at 17, 18. I was watching my friends get killed at 19. I was watching civilians get blown the fuck up, destroyed, shot. Worked in a prison at the age of 22, Charlie Yard, Level 4, Centinela, violence, Riot. So by the time I'm 26, I was fucking not wired correctly.
Right. You started really early. I feel like your PTSD, it's complex.
It's complex, and it was carried over from the military to CDCR. I never realized
because
that.
the abuse was the same. I understand. I've been doing a lot of reading and complex PTSD, because I feel like that's what is currently, the situation in the women's prison. That's where they're at now.
But do you want to know something crazy? Working for CDCR was more toxic than being in a combat zone for 13 months.
I believe that 100%.
That's worse. The being toxic in the toxic environment was fucking worse. And that's crazy to hear. Like, and then we talk about complex PTSD, and now we're talking about mental health. In Iraq, you go for a year, you go for 2 years, or a year, you go for multiple deployments. You get to come home. It's over. When you're in a law enforcement career or you're an inmate in prison, you're living in that motherfucker. Every single day, there's a fucking alarm. There's a suicide attempt. There's a battery. There's a stabbing. There's a murder. There's whatever. Gassing.
Oh.
It is fucking a rape. And rapes happen. It is fucking constant. Boom, boom. Right? And that's what I enjoyed when I first left the department, talking to a lot of these former inmates. I really enjoy this part. I enjoy talking to like people that are going through it because I've been there and I want to be their help. You know what I mean? Like, or an aid in a way.
Because it helps to get, like, I used to tell my favorite little heroin addict, she had been through a lot of shit. And she was like 18 and she was my little baby. She would run up on people and be like, I'm taking all her fades. And I'd be like, oh.
Yeah.
But she didn't talk. And I said, you got to get all that stuff out.
Yes.
And we would call it black stuff. I would say, you got to get all the black stuff out of you, because if you don't, it's going to kill you. And then you have to remember, you got to fill it back up with something good, because it's just going to get worse and blacker and uglier, and it's going to eat you alive. So talking is so freaking important. That's why I started my organization, because I wanted to make sure women had somebody to talk to who could not make them feel like an idiot, or who wouldn't laugh when they tell me, oh, I was at the gas station and I heard the bell go off at the car wash and I proned out.
I hear that shit all the time. It's fucking it triggers that fucking mind, like, fuck, alarm. But it's important, like you just stated too, paying it forward. Once you begin the healing process and once you start to get healed and recover, pay it forward, right? Because you would be a fucking asshole to be healed and just be selfish and not want to help other people.
Right. And that was one of the first things I thought of. I came home and I only did 5 years, and I was like, I'm weird. What's going to happen to my friends that have done 20, 30, 40 years? They're going to need some assistance, because I feel funny. The grocery store was knocked down by my house. I started crying. Like
it's a trip. I have a good rapport with those lifers that did 20 plus years. It's a fucking trip, because like I feel it. I could feel like, because again, my experiences of coming back from Iraq was identical. I felt like a fucking alien.
Yeah.
I was experiencing all that shit. And so I'm like, okay, I know where you're at, dude. Like, I got you, man.
And I want to help prevent people from those pitfalls.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times it'll lead to what? Relapsing.
Relapse, self-medication,
yeah.
violence.
Or that feeling like I don't belong here.
Suicide.
I need to go back because there's no place for me here.
All of that is realistic.
But I'm glad that you're a good guy. We're lucky. We're lucky to have you. This is so important for people to know there's still good guys left.
And it's funny when you say that, or when somebody says like, Hector, you're a good guy. The only thing that comes to my mind is my friends that are tattooed on my back. They were my brothers in the Army. They were my leaders. They were my brothers. They were in my platoon. They were killed in action. And I just remember them, like, again, at a young age, like those were the epitome. Like those are the best guys. Those are the greatest guys. Like those men right there, like they did the most. They're no longer here. And like every day, I try to fill their boots, but I can't.
You know what? That's so crazy. And you're what do you have on there too? John 13:15?
John 13, John 13:15 or 15:13. Greater love hath no man that a man lay down his life for his brothers.
That's our Bible verse.
15:13.
That's why it's just so, everything that you've really put out there content wise is so relatable, because we feel the same way. You know, like, even though these ladies can really drive me nuts sometimes, that's what I'm trying to do every day. Because what kind of friend would I be if I didn't? And to me, that's the most important thing. I ain't got money. I don't have a lot, but I'm your friend. So when I say I'm your friend, it's a really big deal. Like I'm willing to go.
Oh, for sure, 100%.
I'm going.
But that's pure though. That's pure. That's priceless. You can't put a fucking price tag on that. What good is it kicking it with a billionaire if you're a fucking scumbag and you're gonna fuck me over? You know what I mean? I don't need that shit.
Nah, I'd rather have two loyal bums than what. It just there's that. I would rather have quality than quantity.
Exactly.
And even at the end of the day, if it's just me and 1 or 2, 3 people, I'm okay. It used to really bother me, like that everybody hates me now, or that the other orgs, say
Oh, I'm not even tripping on that, but I feel you because I went through it. I was fucking pissed. Like last month, I was fucking losing my damn mind. Yesterday, I was losing my mind because it's I don't want to say it's a thankless job, right? And we're not doing it for the fucking thank yous, but
Right.
we also don't like. It's almost like a obstacle or a challenge when people try to hinder our ability to help others.
And it's just such a turnoff. Like, why are you? I don't want your funding. I don't want your clout. I just want you to stay out of my way. That's all I want.
Facts.
That's all. And I'm so cool. Like, even people who oppose legislation that I'm promoting or whatever, I'm not a politician. I'll still have lunch with you. I'll
You
still
seem
give you a
nicer
haul
than
in
me
the
though, because I've challenged all these people to fight, and none of them want to fight me.
Well, I mean, I'll still get down in the parking lot. I'm old. I'll pull every muscle in my body. I'll still get down if it came down
But
to
in
that.
2026, I'm turning over a new leaf. Like I'm chill, calm now. Like I think I've established myself. Like I think I've established my name, my character.
But doesn't it feel like every 5 years or so you got to get kind of crazy to
Nah,
remind
I'm
people?
cool. I don't want to get crazy no more. My whole life, I don't want to. I just want to chill.
I might have a heart attack this time. I'm like,
I want to chill.
Yeah.
I'm cool. Like I got a daughter. I'm
Yeah.
a softball coach.
Oh,
Like-
and peace is like priceless.
Serenity.
It's so serenity now.
Sanity.
It's so being able to have that and really be present in the moment instead of
Sane and serene.
oh, it's good. I never thought I would get to this point where I could be present in a moment and really love and remember that moment, because I've always been dual-minded someplace else, doing too much, moving too fast.
And going back to like CDCR and what would I do if I was secretary? And I understand addiction. I understand alcoholism, right? I get it. I have 15 years of sobriety. I fucking get it.
Do you think that, like, is there a way to, the way things are, like our state has abandoned clean and sober. It's all about harm reduction and misuse of substances. Like, is that, can we recover from that?
We're gonna have to recover. We're gonna have to, but it's gonna take more than 5 years because this whole thing has been happening
Manufactured,
for
yeah.
this whole push has been going this way for over 10 years. So now you just have to push it back this way, and it's easy. You say it's what did you say? Health reduction, risk reduction,
Harm reduction.
Harm reduction is a bullshit way of utilize my product, buy my product, and fucking make me rich.
Yeah, you're going to not die. You can keep getting high. You're going to use my product and you're going to keep making us money.
Right. So all we have to be is like, no, just get to the source of the fucking problem. Okay, identify that, hey, there is a thing such as alcoholism and addiction and treat it as such. Offer these programs. When they fail numerous times, there will be consequences. I mean, there has to be consequences to people's actions. I've gone through consequences. I've been to jail 3 times, like, because of my alcoholism. My dad told me one time, Hector, haven't you realized that every time you've been to jail, alcohol has played a role? And I'm like, dang. I said, no, I can't be the alcohol. Right?
need a beer. You're right.
Because my brain was telling me it was not. But in reality, it was. I just thought it was a coincidence. A horrible ass coincidence.
But I mean, when you're ready and you reach that point, you see it. I just wish, like, I don't wish anything. It's going to get fixed. This is going to get better. There is
No,
no
it's gonna
choice
get
but up.
fixed.
Like, we can't go nowhere but up.
And you know why I hope it does get fixed? Because my daughter right now is currently 7 years old. How awesome would it be for her to grow up in a similar time frame that I grew up in?
Dang.
With the benefit of electronics. Like, that's awesome. You can watch fucking cartoons from your phone, from your watch. You can, like, dude, you're a kid. Enjoy life.
And that's like that's really what it comes down to, like being able to have quality of life. And we don't really, it's slipping, and everybody's been so complacent they haven't noticed. And it's now, look at where we're at. It's very far from where we want to be. But I think.
But do you know what creates anxiety? So, like, we're naturally wired to be like cavemen, right? Primal. Hunt, gather, chase fucking saber-toothed tigers, hit them over the head with a
I
rock.
knew it, yeah.
Right? We're primed. We're wired that way. Look at how far we are now, man. McDonald's drive-thrus, chicken nuggets, TikTok, dopamine, fast fucking dopamine. Like,
Yeah, the attention span of
chronic,
humans.
pornography addiction, alcoholism, the fucking vapes.
Oh, man.
People can get high now with vapes when before I had to hide smoking weed like with an apple or with
And
like
a
an
toilet
inhaler.
paper roll and all this stuff to hide the
so
smoke.
like it's fuck, dude. Your ability to fuck up your brain fast it's limitless now.
Yeah, and it's instantaneous.
Instant.
It's like Idiocracy. It's that
I haven't
movie.
seen that. I haven't
Oh,
seen
you
it.
got to see it. It's so good. It's exactly where everybody's wearing Crocs in the future, and they have like.
I hope the fucking viewers understand though the reality of what's happening. They have to sit there and be like, "Oh shit, he's right." Like fucking, they're right.
I mean, people are dying because
we've-
they're looking at their phones and they're walking into traffic,
and crashing cars.
walking off of cliffs. Come on.
Or you will have somebody like with a gunshot wound, and instead of providing first aid,
gotta
they're
take
like
pictures.
videotaping,
Yeah.
like, "Hey, fucking asshole, plug my wound or put a tourniquet
That's
on
why
me."
I carry tourniquets in my purse, okay? Because I'm gonna be prepared. I mean, this I don't understand.
No, society is wild. So like, if I were to give an example to like a 9-year-old kid, like, well, Hector, how is this supposed to be? Like, here's how it's supposed to be. Like, you're supposed to be focused. You're supposed to be locked eyes,
Locked in,
talking,
yeah.
Engaging, acknowledging, responding, courteous, respectful. You're supposed to put your phone down, especially while you're eating, right? And I'm
Absolutely.
guilty of being on my phone because, again, I'm not perfect. I'm living in this world too. Like, I'm part of this world, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But like, if somebody's injured, you provide aid
Exactly.
for them.
If-
You can summon assistance. If you have a cell phone, you call 911. Like, these are things that are supposed to happen.
But now you're a hero and you're some, good Samaritan miracle worker if you stop and have basic humanity for people because it's unheard of, I'm like, what?
I mean, and the list is endless, man. You see somebody walking towards a door, you open that door before them, right? It's like, dude, you're on a date. You open your date's car door. You're walking on the right side of the road. Like,
Right. What happened? Walk on the inside, honey.
all of this, like, basic. And I still do all of this, right? But that's because it's hardwired into me from being a kid, and my grandma taught me all this.
I know you love your grandma. See,
Yeah.
that's something else too. A man who loves the women in his life growing up, it makes a huge difference. That's like the last thing I'm going to ask you. In the women's prison, there's like an epidemic of, staff that fuck around. Isn't there some kind of like test? Like, what if, the test that they give 290s, can't they administer that during training? There's nothing.
No, because, I mean, you think about police officers, they take polygraph tests, and they fucking get
Yeah,
caught
but you know
doing some
what? Let
weird
me tell you
shit.
something. These people are so dumb. They'll ask you, like we're the sheriff's department. Have you ever had sex with an animal? Well, of course you're going to say no, even if you did have sex with an animal, because what are they going to do? Interview the freaking animal? But there's people who will straight up say, yeah. I mean, you got to give the test to make sure you're weeding out those
No,
lunatics.
there's no test for like a correctional officer. There's no test.
Like a misogyny rate? How do we have to make sure that somebody doesn't like really hate women before they get assigned to go to the women's prison?
No, that's fucking. Let me tell you something realistically. There is not a line of people signing up to be correctional officers.
No, there's
right?
not.
It's not a desired post. It's not a desired career. I mean, they understand. The average citizen understands. Like, I really don't want to work in a prison. It doesn't seem appealing to me. So now you're pulling from a limited pool. Oh, you want to know something funny, crazy, weird, and wild? Since I've been on the
Yes.
internet for 3 years, I've come to realize that correctional officers are a special bunch, man, a special group. And to include myself, because that fucking job,
Yeah.
to want to work there, you have to be, I don't want to use the word crazy. I don't want to use the word crazy, right? Because I don't believe in those type of labels. But you have to be built a little different. Like almost a risk taker, for sure, a risk taker.
Well, and I keep forgetting, that the men's prison, it's a war zone. This is a place where there's levels of violence that people have no concept that they're
I
facing on a
welcome
daily
that shit though,
basis.
man. That's what I would look forward to, as opposed to I would rather deal with that than to deal with some off the wall Skid Row type of behavior.
Yeah, I mean, at least you know what you're walking into. You
Correct.
know what to expect, which is, you mean the women's prison or Skid Row? I mean,
Women's institution, juvenile institutions, SNY, EOP, those are too volatile. Those are too reckless. There's no control. It's impulsive.
right.
controlled violence is I don't want to say controlled violence is awesome, but if you're going to be comparing it to all of that, 100% it is. Any day of the week, anybody will tell you that.
There were days when I used to be in there and I would be like, there's just nothing makes sense here. I wish I could go to the men's prison. I wish I could, because there was no program or definitive,
What other questions did those ladies have for me? Because I don't want them. Trust me, I check all my blocks. I don't want them to be like, well, you didn't ask him this. You didn't ask him this. You failed to ask him this. You really didn't push him on this.
How do you feel like, do you equate like female and male prisoners as like the same?
No.
They're not, right?
No.
Of course
I mean,
not.
but that's just gender. That's just gender.
No, it's sex. We don't have gender.
That's just gender. So, like, I understand that women are emotional. And I told you this earlier.
Yeah.
And they are. Men are more, like, definitive when it comes to, like, we're being in charge of a women's institution or being around female inmates. Here's the crazy fucking thing is, first of all, I would not do it. Second of all, you have to take that emotion into consideration. You have to. It's not like you can't pretend that it's not existing, right? But also at the same time, safety. I'm huge on safety. I'm huge on security. I'm huge on common sense. I'm huge on fairness, right? So I'm going to like sit here. You're going to be there. If you decide to have an outbreak or you want to cry or you need some fucking fresh air, I'll have to look at the rule plan, right? The rules. I don't know if people can go out of bounds. I don't know if people can I don't know what the get down is per the rules, right? I'm sure people doing off the wall shit that they're not supposed to be doing. But hey, like if you have it coming, by all means, you have it coming. You know what I mean? So yeah, do what you got to do.
What about like the consequences for both staff and for inmates? Like, you would clearly bring that back, because there seems to just be things are moving in the direction of, we're not going to deal, like you said, we're not going to deal with anything. We're not going to have consequences. We're not going to have write-ups. We're not going to have drug tests. We're not going to have anything. We're going to sweep everything under the rug, including staff misconduct or whatever. Even though there's hundreds of lawsuits pending, we're just going to pretend like none of this is happening. Like,
it's applying it correctly, because you're saying right now staff misconduct consequences. I just told you they fired 6 correctional officers at CCWF.
But that's like, I mean,
Exactly.
I've never heard of something so drastic.
Exactly. But they'd use those individuals as scapegoats.
Yeah.
So that they can promote the chief to warden. Yeah, just regular basic consequences, right? Hector is not here, or anybody, whoever takes a position. There's fucking young officers right now that may be the secretary one day. That's an actual fact for sure. It's in their pathway. Don't go in there and don't go in there waving a sledgehammer. To me, that's a wrong way to approach life. That's a wrong way to approach prison. That's a wrong way to approach prisoners. That's a wrong way to approach your peers. Fucking speaking from experience, your spouse, like learn from me. Like, I don't speak us. Just be fucking like calm, cool, collective, respectful, reasonable, and firm, fair, and consistent. That's what they used to teach you at the academy.
Consistency is so important. Like, every parent I run into, every person that has a messed up kid, I'm like, consistency. If they're grounded, keep them grounded till they're done being grounded. You can't just be like not wanting to deal with them and say, "Oh, go ahead." You have to be very consistent. That's one of the most important things, because that's what I think. Speaking from experience, consistency would have made a difference.
No, I'm totally realist. It's a challenge, but like the whole system is fucked up right now. It's not just the female institutions. Every fucking prison's on fire right now in California. That's a fact. Escape attempts are the latest norm. It's like an inmate goes out to the hospital, they just fucking
Run,
can't
Caesar,
help.
run.
They just can't help but fucking run. Like, and I'm not knocking them. I see exactly what's going on. Hector, would you do the same thing? I'll probably do I'll make it away. I'll go. I'll run.
And there's a lot of other stuff that goes on during medical transports. I mean, I think there's a lot of stuff that goes on during medical transports that they're not clocking. And I don't know why. I mean, it's not like they haven't been, tipped off on those things.
Here's what you and I have going for us. One, you and I did not participate in the bullshit. Our names are not in any fucking litigation or catastrophe or chaos or murder or rape that transpired these last couple of years. Two, well, one, we're not tied to it. Two, we've been consistently saying the same exact thing for the past 3, 4, 5 years. And three, I mean, we're fucking out of there. We're good. We're good.
God, we're
right?
good.
But
yeah.
the system is not.
Right. And
California is not.
And I feel like the only way to save the nation is we have to save California.
This shit right here.
Because we're the pace car. We set the tone for everything culturally, politically.
You know what? I don't even think we mentioned like your background. You're a former inmate for the California Department of Corrections and Rehabilitation. I was a former lieutenant, right? This is exactly what the establishment fears. People coming together at the bottom. They fucking fear it. That's their kryptonite. They want division.
No communication. They want to separate people from communication. It's so bad. But that's why these these conversations are vital.
We're making history right here in San Diego, California. That's a fact. Right, dude? Yeah. Do you agree or you don't agree?
All the time. We always saying something, preaching. We always trying to give people the best of life.
100%, bro. But we see it now, man. And these episodes will be historical. These will be on YouTube. Like, people will look back and be like, fuck, dude, they were fucking calling it all along. They were screaming it at our face and we refused to listen. But so yeah, do you have any closing words that you want to say or that you want to ask me?
I appreciate you to no end. You're always ready to go. We're really blessed to have you, and I know, our paths cross for a reason, and this is so much more than it seems. I feel like we have assignments. We've been given assignments, and I know you probably feel the same. You're answering to somebody way above secretary or governor, and our missions are going to get completed because
facts.
Our battles are won. We just have to keep showing up every single day, and we do even on the days we don't want to. And I'm very, very blessed to know that when the shit goes down and the zombie apocalypse comes, I'm on your team. Okay?
Oh yeah, we're gonna have fun.
I have all the tourniquets.
Carne asada, horseshoes, bow and arrows.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Yes.
Tomahawks. We're gonna have fun.
I have a professional slingshot? with the laser.
Go.
Yeah, we're
in.
in.
It's gonna be cool.
It's gonna be great, and we'll know who to break out of prison for our team. It's gonna be
for
good.
sure.
It's gonna be good. Zone. This is gonna be the zone.
Temecula.
Yeah.
I've always said it. I say it on my podcast. They're like, Hector, when are you going to get the ranch in Temecula? I'm like, when I win my lawsuit, bro, don't trip.
That's what I would have suggested too. Wow.
Cool. Well, thanks for this opportunity. I'm glad you put it the way you put it. You're like, hey, we've been given an assignment from God, in essence. And you're right. Like, I've never felt like quitting, and I don't feel like we're going to lose. I think that's what gets me waking up every morning and continuing, because I have that hope. For sure, I have that hope. I feel it. I could fucking feel that it's going to get good. It's just we have to go through this.
Right. And we're going through it.
It's going to take work on your guys' behalf. Foot soldiers. Right? Cool. Well, there you guys have it. Something a little different, man. But hey, we're transparent here. We're real. We're from California. We're trying to change the world one story at a time. Love you guys. Keep pushing forward.
Unhinged mind, Hector's legend engraved. Living life raw, never been tamed. From the hood to the pen, truth and tales bend. Hector Bravo unhinged, story never ends.